Okay. So I wanted to record this video for a while, but I just didn't knew where to begin and where to start. And in fact, I haven't even told everyone in a team um, that we have to finish this thing and wrap it up. Not even every single member. I mean, we have like three co-founders, me including, and one backend guy. You can say an employee, but yeah, I mean, I didn't told him yet. He's probably still thinking that we are on the game. The product which we have been building, which is a all-in-one downloader, both from Instagram, YouTube, and all the stuff, was something I personally needed for my day-to-day life. What I'm gonna be enjoying using, and that's why I was interested in succeeding with a startup game. But I think it's gonna sound cliche, but there is nothing better which is gonna describe the situation than just saying the reality has hit, and I opened my eyes in a situation where I got accepted to college uh, into economics field. So I'm in college, 18 years old, CEO of a startup, someone who has to manage close to three people and himself including. And at the same time, I had another business which I have started like 2 years ago, my agency, my primary goal, primary business. So I had to deal with two businesses. I had to deal with college, and I had to deal with a day job which I got to pay the tuition fees at college. So I had too many things going on in my life all at once at the same time. And I just I just didn't know what to do, except one day when I said I I had a game plan I was working on for a couple of days and documenting my journey on my personal YouTube channel. Um, and I was saying that, okay, if I want to drop out of college because it's not something I am primarily interested in, I have to drop out of college. But I can't do it just because I decided to do so. Parents aren't gonna just allow you to do so, and I think I mean, you are spending their money, even though you're spending their money, and if you're not gonna go to college, they're not gonna spend money, which makes sense, and it would be better both for them and you. They still, because of these limited beliefs and the worldview, they're not gonna let you to do so. So what I had to do is really either really succeed in business, which is like 10K and 20K, which is not gonna happen overnight, and the chances of success are okay, but still there is a very big risk, I would say. It's a business at the end of the day. Or I had to get a coding job, which has higher chances of success because there's basically low risk. Because you don't have to land a job which is gonna pay you $4,000-5,000 a month. There is no need for that. You can get any kind of job which is gonna pay you. I hope I'm gonna be able to get a job which is gonna pay close to $1,000 or even more, because I see other people doing that. God will, inshallah. I hope I'm gonna also be able to make it happen. So I automatically, as you can already understand from what I'm saying, choose to get a coding job. So I, again, if I summarize, I end up in a situation where I had the college, I had college, I had day job, I was preparing for a coding job, I was running my agency, and I was running startup, and I was documenting my journey on my own YouTube channel, and at the same time trying to do something with my startup. And I just said to my co-founder, CTO, his name is Behzad. You can check out his YouTube channel from the link in the description. Um, you know, that's not looking good. He knew where am I right now at life, and was happening in my personal life. And my other two co-founders, they also were studying at school because they're 17, 1 year younger than me. They are 17 years old, and one of them also had a day job to deal with. So we all together were in a situation where we didn't had no connections, no funding. We didn't raise any funding, obviously. And we had school and college to deal with, and some, like me, had two jobs, you can say. Two jobs. And when I said to my chief creative officer, Max, maybe we should take a pause, he just immediately replied, yes, I think we should. Even though I was hesitating about it, and my CTO, I think, I don't know, I first texted him, I just said, I don't know what to do. None of us know how to build backend. So we have lack of knowledge, we have lack of money, we have lack of time, and all we got at that stage, at this stage, all we had is just a desire and will to build products and create stuff. That's it. If you want to build something great as a startup, I think you need four key elements, which is the money, experience or knowledge, time, and the will. There's a lot of people in Silicon Valley who have all of these three things working in some kind of fan company, who have the money, have the time, have the experience after working in 10 years in tech, obviously, but they just lack the bravery, the will, the desire to create and innovate. We as a 17 and 18-year-olds had this desire. We couldn't get a tech job in some kind of company because I'm gonna be honest, we didn't try it bad enough. Like, we just were applying for coding jobs, and that's all we were doing. We didn't go ahead, created LinkedIn, we weren't creating content, we weren't wanting it bad enough. We tried to do so, we tried to get a coding job for a couple of months, and then we just gave up. We didn't update the resume, we didn't create more projects, we didn't connect to people, ask people. I'm gonna be honest, yeah, like this time I wanna change that. I wanna get a tech job better. I don't know what's the right word to say in English, but I really, really want and need to get this tech job because I really, really don't want to go to college. So the motivation is freaking insane. You know, if if these people in Silicon Valley, this Mac daddies, I like to call them, the image of a startup founder is usually someone who is in the early 20s, who raised some money from investors. And yeah, I mean, we didn't had any of that. We weren't we didn't had the experience, we didn't graduate some kind of computer science college, we didn't had the connections, we didn't had the money raised, we didn't raise money, but we either didn't had the money ourselves. We were just doing everything what we can using the free things out there. We were using the domains which Vercel hosting platform gives you for free. You know, this app.vercel.app. You know what I mean? App name.vercel.app, like something like that. And this, we were building a software which didn't have a really strong backend, because my CTO and me are front-end developers, and my chief creative officer is a self-taught designer, web designer from YouTube. We kind of were fulfilling each other, because I am not great at design, and I thought that if Max is gonna be designing full-time, we're gonna have a better design than if I'm gonna be doing a crappy design half-time. It didn't happen. It didn't happen, because I can understand he has college, he has day job, and he has family, and he goes to gym, and that's a sad thing to accept. But I think we just have to be a little patient. Take time to, you know, it's fine if we don't want to raise funds. It's fine. There's a lot of startups which have succeeded without any funding. But we at least need to be able to focus on this thing full time. No college, no day job, no nothing, 8 to 12 hours, even 24 hours. Look at the startups in Silicon Valley. I mean, we were doing everything they do, reverse engineer. Like we were doing everything against, you know, how it should be. And guess what? We failed, I can say, because we just ended up in a situation we weren't working on our startup, and I just looked back at all this like things going on and just said like, I think it's not something for us to do right now. I think we should take a little bit of time. The people, my co-founders, if they desire to drop out of college, then great. Okay, we have one less problem when it comes to time management, but we still have this problem of money. We still have this problem of time, because if we drop out of college, we have to get a day job, and we also need job to make some kind of living and money. So I think we just have to be patient with this thing. We have to get a little older, which is not a cool thing, but we have to increase our knowledge, increase our skills, increase our connections, and basically work on ourselves from start to finish. I don't know what to say. I don't know if I'm gonna be changing the name of the YouTube channel, because I guess from now on it's gonna be only me documenting my journey, how I'm trying to get a not day job, but a coding job. I'm gonna be documenting the process of me building the app to put on a resume for potential employers. As I said, I mean, there's a lot of things which have happened, as you can see. Like, only in 14 minutes I have told you such a interesting story with a lot of pivotal moments, because genuinely it is like I was putting off recording this video for a very long time, and I just didn't know what to say. Like, we didn't want to quit, but we had to quit. We weren't in a situation when we burned out or something like, usually founders say or something like that, right? We just had to quit because we weren't qualified enough to keep this thing on, and that's it. That's all it is about. We have to, we had the lack of money, lack of time, lack of knowledge, and all we got was the desire. We wanted to become self-employed basically because we didn't want to get a coding job, if I'm being honest. A year ago, when we graduated the coding bootcamp together with my CTO, we were totally different people. We thought that it's gonna be easier than it actually turns out to be. Yeah. So I guess just have to accept it. Take our time, make some money, spend that money to learn necessary skills, and get a coding job to get some connections, get a coding job to drop out of college and win some time. There's only one thing I'm kind of praying and hoping for, inshallah. What I'm saying right now is not something which is gonna it's not like, I'm gonna come back in 6 months, I'm gonna come back, just give me some time, I'm burned out. No, it's not about that. It's more like I don't know how long it's gonna take us to come back. That's the problem, that's the thing about it. College is like 4 years in length, and we also have to, after graduating college, we have to serve in the Navy for 1 year. And after all of that, we have to get a coding job. And we need to work in that coding job for a period of time until we can save up some kind of money and get some connections. And, by this time, all of the things are gonna happen. We might be like in our early 20s, like close to 25. And when you're at this age, you're probably gonna want to get married. And bro, when you have a family, the thing I'm worried about is that it's not like I'm gonna see you later message. It's more of like a goodbye, that you're not gonna see this person ever again. Because yeah, I think if we summarize, it's more of a fear of that older me is gonna lose this desire. We might have all of these, 3 key elements. We might have the time, the money, the knowledge, and the connections, right? So it might be investors, it might be early employees, but we might just lose this one thing, which is probably the root cause of everything. Why you do it is the will, the desire to create and build. Because when you have family, and especially when you have kids, you don't want to play, you want to play safe, I'm gonna be honest. You don't want to play game in danger zone. You don't want to be in constant fear of running out of money, When you're young, it's easier to take the risks, but when you're young, you don't have the things to take a better risks, which are worthy of taking. Like, we took the risks. Yes, we took the risk in the May of this year until the September of this year. May, June, July, August, September. So we were running this thing for 5 months. We did it. We released something, we built something, even though it's crappy, even though I hate it, even though I want to delete it. Yes, we did it. We built it and released it. We had 13 or 14 users, and okay, but if you want to build something really nice, you're not going to be ashamed of, you need to spend more time and have more better understanding of what you're doing, which is the technical skills which I didn't had, our CTO didn't had, none of us in a team had, and we didn't have the money or connections to invite someone to our team to build it for us. And even though we had the money, it would be so stupid to build a tech startup without technical knowledge. Anyone in the uh, co-founders, if it's not me, then it should be at least someone else, but it wasn't no one, it wasn't anyone. I know this video is pretty long. Okay, it's only 20 minutes in length, but it's a juicy topic to talk about, because I know that there is a lot of people who actually even have succeeded at a very early age, who even have actually succeeded at a very early age. I know there's some 18-year-olds who have succeeded with their startup. If they had a better technical knowledge than I am, is it my fault? Because I'm willing to learn. I'm working on this day job, saving up some money to buy a coding course or something like that, so I can learn from the best, you know. Yeah, I can learn by myself, but I will, nearly burned out trying to learn back front end. So, you know, I think there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna resonate this themselves. It doesn't matter of their age. It might be young, it might be old, but if you are unqualified enough to, build a startup, I think you're gonna fail no matter of your age. I'm just making a prediction of that. If you're in this age, about this age, you're gonna be about in this stage in your life, but that might just not be true for you, and that's fine. There's a lot more people who have failed trying to build their startup at the age of like 17, 18 than the amount of people who have succeeded. So that's why I think this video might do well. I think this is the introduction to a new phase where I'm gonna still be online and connecting with all of my three of my co-founders. I'm gonna try to convince the designer to get a designing course and eventually learn how to design really nice from the pro designer. I'm gonna try to convince my CTO to go ahead and take a backend course with me together, so we can both, maybe then later get a coding job and together later start another startup. I don't know how to finish this video, because that's just the beginning of something different and something new, and the end of something old. Our products are gonna be still online, out there, just to remind ourselves where we were. Yeah. Thank you for watching. See you later.